my guy. Wow. Okay. Yikes.
All right, episode 5. Shit. We don't have a topic list this week. Why is the audio? That's fine.
That was quick.
Is something weird?
No. I feel fine. Kind of.
I feel like something's weird here.
What's weird?
I don't know. Maybe I need to raise...
I feel like this
Oh, there we go. Okay, this is a little bit better.
I feel like this got up and running pretty quick this time.
Yeah, yeah. That's... Once we get a better setup, it'll be even better sounding and faster. Anyway, what I'm getting at here is last week we had a user-submitted topic list. This week we don't have any. We're going off the top of the dome, but I think that could be a good thing instead of reading a piece of paper. What I want to get at is if you guys want to submit a topic list, you can submit it through like my Twitter DMs or Instagram DM me or Real John Austin is your Instagram.
Oh yeah, Instagram. I was gonna say I don't have a Twitter.
No,
I deleted that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess email too. Or you can do it publicly if they're just adding me on Twitter or whatever, or private. Doesn't matter. Anyway,
I didn't know anything about that. That's a good idea.
I thought about that earlier. That anybody could just submit something they'd want us to talk about, and we'll throw it in there because why not?
They care what two dumbasses think about something.
Yeah,
send it our way.
2 white 20-year-old dumbasses. If you want to hear that opinion, just shoot us something.
Hell yeah.
You know what I've been thinking about, which is super fucked up? I don't know why I've been thinking about. Well, not really, not 24/7, but I was talking about Bohemian Rhapsody. I saw that this week.
Oh yeah.
So
I saw a video that was like, "Why is everybody lying about Bohemian Rhapsody?" by famous YouTuber Gus something. I didn't watch the video.
What do you mean?
But I don't know. It was some famous I've been hearing a whole bunch of stuff about Bohemian Rhapsody. It's supposed to be good, isn't it?
Oh, I think some people are saying he's like portrayed like a villain, or I don't know. I heard something stupid like that. It was okay. It was like a 6 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about it.
It was all right. What I was talking to you about yesterday briefly, I found out just recently that Bryan Singer.
Oh yeah, I forgot about he did that.
I love talking about this because this is a juicy. I feel like I like bringing this weird shit up all the time because I feel like you just spilled water all over yourself. Nice.
Yes, I did.
Nice, dude. I feel like it's not really talked about, and I feel like it's like people talk about like
I'm surprised it didn't
actual
get blown
horror
up.
movies and shit, but like then there's like actual like psychopaths on Earth
like
that
real
are like
life horror
successful.
Stories.
And like people like to joke around about like the Illuminati, but then there's like actual like heavy allegations with like successful people that I mean, it's not really the Illuminati, but I guess you could correlate it with that. Regardless, so Bryan Singer got fired from Bohemian Rhapsody like pretty much once they were done shooting it. And I think the whole vision for the film was already like pre-planned out. So it's pretty much, it's like 90% his film from what I understand.
But is his name on it?
Yeah, he's on the IMDb credits. I forgot Dexter Fletcher is like the...
I don't know.
I don't really know him either. I don't know what he's from, but I believe he was like the fill-in from what I understand.
I know Bryan Singer from X-Men.
Yeah, this is the same guy.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Even when I was watching the movie, because I knew I thought he directed it, and like, I mean, Freddie Mercury, was bisexual from what or at least as far as I know.
Yeah.
So that's what the movie showed. I don't know much about Freddie Mercury besides the movie, unfortunately. I do like Queen though. Anyway, going back to this, it was like uncomfortable when they showed like the homosexual scenes or whatever, and like because I'm like, oh, this was a director with like really fucked up allegations, like directing this. Like it was just really weird.
Yeah.
So the allegations on Bryan Singer, as from what I've heard, is like there's like so many on this dude, which is crazy. It's like crazy that he had like I guess in the 90s, like he would like invite all these like 10 to like 15-year-old and maybe even younger, I don't know, like teenage, like no, I think it was like preteen boys to like swim at his house, but like there was like you couldn't have a bathing suit on at the pool, and apparently like, this one's like weird too, but there was like a picture of it of his
He's
pool.
not that old. right?
No, I don't think he's that old. I think
Pretty
late
young.
30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
And like the pool was like red. Like he would have like red lights to make the pool seem like it was blood or whatever. And like I don't know. It was maybe I also gathered that from a video, so I don't know how accurate that is. But I've heard many times through like articles and like just many sources about like these allegations about him with like preteen boys and shit. You know what's weird? I didn't tell you this. I actually I used to work with this kid at my job. Actually, that I'm still at now. I was a freelancer at the time, and he was a permanent, like full time. But he was telling me that he's been to Bryan Singer's house before, and I was
Yikes.
like, "This was right before X-Men: Days of Future passed. Probably this was like a year, maybe no, yeah, it was either right after it or right before it. So yeah, like they were around, but like we were talking about it, and then I was like, dude, like, actually, this is super weird. Holy shit. He was saying that like he got invited because it was like a college trip or something. Like he just invited a bunch of college students over to just tour
It's a
his
little old
house.
for him.
Yeah. No, I know. This kid was probably older than me. He was probably like 25 or so, but he was telling me about it. I should hit him back up about this to get more information. And then I was like, dude, like, don't you know about like he was like, yeah, but honestly, I didn't see anything like that. Like he didn't get any sense of that. And I was like, oh, that's good at least. But like he was like, yeah, I was there. Like I forgot why he was like, that's already weird to begin with. Why would you want to? I mean, I guess
Well,
I guess
mean,
I would go to a director. So I'd be like,
that's
oh,
like
yeah,
a
I'll
good
take that
connect. Well,
trip.
that's the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like it's like, hey, I'm a world famous director. Come
I'd be
to
a
my
little.
house.
I'd be very
I'll diddle
hesitant.
you a little bit, but you know, you might get a part in my new movie. It's like Harvey
That's how,
Weinstein.
yeah. Well, that's like a lot of them apparently.
Yeah. But I
Especially
mean,
this
that's
dude.
like,
There's a real one, by the way, after this.
and it's not like, I don't want to say it's like, yeah, no shit, but like power. When somebody gets
Yeah.
into power like that, it's like, yeah, no shit. Some people are going to be really effed up with it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's like, oh, like it's not surprising or whatever. Like, obviously, that's crazy, horrible for like all the people involved. But
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. I mean, you kind of
Yeah.
not see it coming, but
I feel like
I don't know.
at this point in time, like most, if not all, like you should be hesitant. Like if I don't know, anybody famous that like out of the blue or whatever, it's like, hey, like come do that. It'd be like, well, like, you gotta be a little bit hesitant there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can't just
you got to figure out
That's
their
just the world
motives.
we
Like,
live
what's
in.
in it
Yeah.
for them?
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. There's another one. This one's real. This one, as far as no, I think this one's actually real. I think he went to jail for it, but not long, which is crazy. I'll get to that. Can't remember his name. Should probably look it up for accuracy. But it's the director of Jeepers Creepers. Did I ever tell you about this one?
No,
I was
going
gonna
to
make a video on this because I thought this was so fucked, and nobody knows about it, or not really. It's not really like talked about, I guess. So this guy Victor Salvo, right? And if you don't believe me listening to this, you could just Google or whatever. It's every. They think. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Or hey, just look it up anyway, because you should do your own research and not believe two dumbasses on a podcast.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, so he was. So here we go. And it became controversial after his conviction in 1988 for charges relating to his sexual abuse of a 12-year-old male actor who was starring in one of his films, Clown House. Clown House is like a horror movie where clowns terrorize little kids. Videotaping himself in the act of doing so and possessing commercial videotapes and magazines containing child pornography.
That's good.
Now this gets weirder.
Oh, weirder than
Like,
that?
kind of like
That's pretty weird.
no, it gets like kind of aggravating, at least for maybe just for me, because like I want to be in the film industry, and then you hear about this and you're like, why does this guy why is he still around?
Yep.
So anyway,
Wait, he's still making movies?
oh yeah,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah.
So like literally
Yep.
film of him.
Nobody,
fucking
it's like
kids.
everybody just magically got up and forgot. There's
Oh, it was,
actual like
you know.
video, like there's evidence behind it. I mean, we'll get into the whole like, oh, should you be forgiven? But I feel like this is a really heavy case. But anyway, so then like in 2001, I guess no, actually rewind it before that. Let me
I
go
love
to
that movie, by the way.
No, hold on. I think his first movie after Clown House, after he got convicted, was, I shit you not, a Disney movie.
Oh, nice.
A
nice.
fucking family.
Nice.
Yep, called Powder.
Nice.
Which was I think it was straight to the Disney Channel. There's a 1995 film.
can we be
so that
real
wasn't that long
for
after.
a second?
Hmm.
Some of those straight to Disney Channel movies are pretty good. I used to watch
Yeah.
the Hillary Duff one all the time.
I wouldn't say they're good anymore though.
I mean, yeah, they're not actually
that's
good, but
all
like
downhill.
when we were like
Yeah.
10 years old and it was coming straight to those
Do
Disney
you remember
Channel
Don't
things.
Look Under the Bed?
No.
Oh,
You know
that
what movies
was-
I
that
love?
movie actually used to scare the shit out of me.
I used to watch Halloween Town, all 3 of them. I think there's 3. There might be 4 now, but there was 3 when I was little. Very good Halloween movies.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know if they're very good, but I mean,
no, a lot of people love them.
it's like
I think
nostalgic
it's kind
for
of
me.
like a cult classic at this point.
I used to watch
Same
them all
with
the
like,
time.
I don't think Hocus Pocus is one of them, but everybody loves Hocus Pocus.
All right, back to
Uh,
before I derailed this. the
no.
conversation.
So pretty much, like, I don't have all the hard facts in front of me unless I'm like, I didn't really plan on talking about this, but here we are. Yeah, so he made he made 2 movies in 1995. One of them was for Disney. What I'm getting at is, so then he made Jeepers Creepers. That was some pretty successful, I guess. Then he did 2, and then now he did. He's still making movies. He just made Jeepers Creepers 3 in like 2017, and I was
Why
like,
are we still making Jeepers
no,
Creepers? First of all,
1,000,000%. But why is he still allowed to do that?
I don't know why he's allowed to do anything.
First off,
I heard you said there's a
he's
video.
probably
of him.
not good at all. Nobody talks about Jeepers Creepers 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Actually, wait. This is why I wanted to make a video on it. This is why it's weird as shit, right?
Mhm.
So in Jeepers Creepers, I love getting into this shit. Have you seen the movie?
Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, the first one.
Yes.
Oh wait, fuck. I should probably hold on. All right. So in the first one, Justin Long is in it, and usually I guess the cool twist, but it's not that cool. But like usually, like in the cliche in horror movies, or maybe not. I don't know. The girl, I guess, dies. I could be wrong about that. I don't know. So anyway, Justin Long dies at the end of the movie.
Yes.
And like, I think
Spoiler
if
alert.
whatever. Fuck that movie. I can't remember if it was the first one or the second one. It might be the second one because I've looked up, like, there's like clips of it on YouTube, like of people like tying it to like how weird Victor Salva is. The monster, or whatever it is, in Jeepers Creepers, like specifically targets teenage males.
Oh yeah,
And
it does. There's a whole bus of them.
Yeah, and like on the bus, like the thing like licks the window and
Yeah,
shit,
I
and
know.
it's like
It's weird.
really like there's like a lot of like sexual innuendos, and it's like, and you're like, wait, and then like if you don't.
Like,
Like if
this
you
is
didn't
all-
know that, you would just be like, "Oh, this is just
Yeah.
a weird normal horror movie." But then you look up like, this is why I think it's so fucking crazy, because then you're like, wait, this dude like actually like had child porn, like he had these tapes, like he was doing this, and then you watch it and you're like, wait, this is super like who greenlit that? You
What's
know what I
crazy
mean?
to me is that he actually has video of him fucking kids and like people. I feel like anytime he would do something, somebody's got to mail it in, like that video.
Mhm.
Like I don't know. It's just how do you escape that? There's literal video evidence of you having sex with a kid.
I know. I mean, you should be sweeping the floors at like a Best Buy.
Should be sweeping the floors outside.
You should be sweeping the floors of a prison.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you go to jail for? I don't know for that. I
Well,
don't know.
yes, you definitely
For
go
child
to-
pornography.
Yes, 100% you do.
No, I'm not. I don't even want like it's because people argue like the whole like second. Yeah, that's super fucked.
Well, okay,
is your brain so far gone?
There's a
or do we help this person?
Yeah,
You
well,
know
there's
what I
a-
mean?
there- yeah.
That's the topic that you started to get into, mental health of like.
right now you would go to prison, but there is a whole idea behind like pedophilia is like almost not a disease, but like we should be trying to help those people instead of imprisoning them
Mhm.
because it alienates them and it makes them get even like deeper into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like it's the same thing with like terrorism and stuff like that. Most terrorists feel alienated and then they seek a group that will accept them or whatever, and then they end up becoming terrorists and then they lash back at the people who alienated them. It's all stupid.
mhm,
But that's like
that's fine.
we got visitors. But it's the same thing kind of with like pedophilia almost, but you can't really control it.
Yeah,
Like
dude,
it's-
we're getting
but like
into
we
some
don't know.
heavy-
But it's like I don't know. It's weird. Like there's studies that were done in I forget what countries it was. It was European countries about like giving access to child pornography to pedophiles, and like it would reduce their urge. Like basically everybody wants to reduce kids being abused by pedophiles.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Everybody wants the same thing. It's just how we go about it is what we have to figure out, because obviously imprisoning people isn't really.
Yeah, I mean, that
maybe it's
doesn't-
working, but
all it does is keep them out of society.
yeah, which is, I don't know.
Well, which is obviously
If we can
like,
integrate them, why? I mean, and if we can integrate them and stop them from doing it, and like, help them be normal people, might as
Mhm.
well do that.
Yeah, it sucks because then like there's a lot of it costs money. Like there's a whole. It's a tough conversation.
Yeah, a lot of
I
factors.
don't know. Wow, we really got into it in the first 15 minutes of this. Holy
I
shit!
don't know, man.
Yeah, no,
Let's get it rolling.
yeah. That whole thing's crazy. Regardless, this dude's still making movies,
Psychopath.
and we have a guest.
Hey, there he is. It is what it
There
is.
he is. John Santora, big John Santora in the background
Oh boy.
with the beard and all.
Oh, here we are.
There he
He's
is.
coming over.
How's everybody?
There it is.
There
First guest appearance.
it is, and it's gone with the wind.
That was a quick one.
Your dad has pretty crazy stories.
Yeah.
A lot of he's seen some shit around here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a cop, so
Yeah.
a lot of them see a lot of crazy stuff.
I don't always tell people, but the one about remember like the witches or something like
Oh
that?
yeah, on Jake Brown Road.
Yeah, that was a spicy one.
Yeah.
That's
He used to see them all the time.
I wonder what they're like. What do you like? Imagine like being like getting out of my shifted staples is over. Like let me go home
Time to
and
go ritual.
like,
Time to go begin the ritual.
we got a seance at 9:30 p.m. Like make sure we're all there on time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
How is
It's
that-
weird?
It's hard to believe that that's real because it's like, wait, that's actually you got to plan that, coordinate. Like that's
With other
you
people.
got to drive there. Like
You got to
what
get
are you thinking about on the drive
ingredients.
there
You
or the
need,
walk there? You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think of the word.
That
It's
shit's
not called
ridiculous.
ingredients. When you like want to summon something,
I don't know.
you had it on
We have a
World
couple
of
witches
Warcraft.
that listen to this podcast. I'm sure they'll chime in.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft? I don't know.
A regent. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that.
Or reagent. Regent. I think it's a regent.
Oh, I know what you're talking. I know what it does.
You
in
needed the
game.
feather.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
that's super specific.
Yeah.
I did.
But that's what like witches
Is that
use
coming
and stuff.
back? By the way,
What, World of Warcraft?
no. The thing, the bullshit thing.
Still have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't think anybody knows what we're talking about anymore.
What bullshit
The thing that was like the region thing. You said it's not. They removed it in a later update.
Oh yeah. Then I mean it'll come back when Classic WoW comes back.
the new
it'll
one.
be
so
in
they
Classic
put it
WoW.
back. In there?
Not in the new one that are you talking about Classic WoW?
yeah,
the one
the
that's
new
coming
classic.
out? Yes,
wow, yeah.
it'll be back in there.
Oh,
It's
I
gonna
thought
be
that
the
was an
same
annoying
game.
thing that we're gonna.
No,
oh.
it will be the same thing.
Oh, okay.
It's the same game.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, right.
I saw BlizzCon stock is like flying downwards. Oh wow, whoa, Blizzard stock.
Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, whoops.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's
Because of BlizzCon though.
tanking.
But did you listen to that like Q3 thing? I feel like it's
The
super.
phone call.
Yeah,
Yes,
I didn't listen to the whole
but
thing.
I mean, it makes
but it's super cool to like, get
The
like an
thing is,
insider scoop.
money wise, it makes sense. Money wise, it makes complete sense to release a mobile game like this and target it at Chinese audiences, because Chinese mobile games
Mhm.
in China and those like pay to win game, we call them pay to win. They're just normal games over there where like you have the
Yeah,
in-game
yeah.
cash shops and stuff.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of millions of dollars, and the game costs like less than $1 million to make, to outsource. So it's like, yeah, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah,
But the thing is, it's like you sell out your whole fan base, because Diablo is one of the most hardcore fan bases in like all of gaming, and
Mhm.
it's like a huge slap in the face because Diablo 3 has been out since like probably even earlier in 2014, probably 2012 or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, and they've been waiting for a Diablo 4 to come out, and it's like like you're gonna make a big Diablo Like you could have did it. Like it's not. It doesn't even have to do
And that
with
was
the
the
game.
biggest announcement.
Yeah,
right?
it was the ending
Whoa, don't
of
throw the mic
Yeah,
down.
I know. I'm freaking out. It was the finale of the first day of BlizzCon. All like the panels and like the big presentation where they announced WoW Classic. They announced
Mhm.
Warcraft Reforged, which is like two huge announcements, and then they ended it with usually end it with a bang or something like
Yeah.
oh
Well,
like,
yeah.
I
A
don't
lot
know.
of conferences. Yeah. They all do
but
that.
then it's like, oh yeah, Diablo Immortals, which is
Yeah,
the mobile
no,
game. It's
me.
like, are you stupid?
Yeah.
If they would have just announced it like not at BlizzCon, the biggest convention in the year where people pay thousands of dollars to rent a hotel, a flight,
Yeah.
everything to get
Well,
out there,
It's also
and then like punch them in the face because
Yeah.
like the people out there aren't going to be playing mobile games. They don't go out there because
yeah.
they're mobile gamers. They're not flying $1,000.
Well, it's the biggest PC gaming conference, arguably, right?
Yeah,
And then they announced a mobile game.
yeah. And it's like,
That's so
did you
fun.
really think people that are playing
Yeah.
games on their phone are going to be coming to your conference? Like, oh hell yeah, we
Yeah.
get to play Diablo on our phones. Like, no,
Yeah.
nobody gives a shit.
I can't get into phone games at all.
Yeah, I
Personally,
mean,
I
because they're
can't.
stupid, but it makes a huge sense money wise, which is kind of weird why the stock is falling. If I were you, I'd probably pick that up.
Well, it has. It's
because that's going to be millions
I don't
and
know.
millions
Well,
of dollars
I think
over in China.
on the chart. I mean, I could look it up right now. I think it had to do with like
if you
big
go,
investors.
if you
like,
go look
let me
at
look it up. It's gonna piss me off. I'm gonna
like
look it up.
profits from video games in like
Blizzard stock.
2018 or over the last few years, mobile gaming makes up over like 60% of all revenue in video games, which is ridiculous. It's like over $1 billion or something.
This is weird.
Like, I saw a stat. I don't even remember.
So it started falling really hard. It was at its highest point this year. I don't think anyone gives a shit, but $83 a stock on October 3rd, and then right now it's at $50, which is a pretty big dip.
That's insane.
It's a big dip. Yeah, it's down, and it just keeps going down. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. I would say the only best move that Blizzard has made. Dude, we talk about Blizzard way too much.
Here,
on
let me
this
just read you this
podcast.
headline really quick. Mobile revenues account for more than 50% of the global games market as it reaches $137.9 billion in 2018. That's over $70 billion just from mobile games.
You know what I want to talk about actually? Well,
That's
I'm really far from
insane.
the mic. You're gonna like this. So I was at work. This was maybe this is probably this time last week. I don't know if I don't think I got to bring this up, or maybe I did. If I did, stop me. This dude that I work with, we were talking about. Oh, I forgot how it got brought up, but I don't even know how it got brought up. So we got on the topic of Twitch, and then somehow he was like, "Oh, it's like a bunch of little kids like that watch you play video games," and I was like, and I looked down, and I literally was like, "That's the general concise of Twitch," because like. And then the other guy, there was another guy in the room. He didn't even know what Twitch was.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe because I've known it since like you and I have known it since like 2010, 11.
Yeah.
Whereas most people have probably been in the last 3-4 years.
Yeah.
But
Probably
I feel
in the
like
last year with Fortnite and stuff.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I feel like I gotta look up the numbers, but I think it's right under like Netflix in terms of like
That's
traffic.
crazy.
Or YouTube. I forgot. Let me look it up. They promoted this shit out of it.
I've been watching it since like 2010. Before it was Twitch, it was Justin TV.
I
I think we did talk about this, but I mean,
I forgot where it like
we
ranks.
glazed over it.
I can't really like. Anyway,
It's still crazy.
But it blows my mind that you'd be like, that's like saying, "Oh, YouTube, where all the vloggers are."
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Are you talking about?
Yeah. Sorry if you.
I don't know. Well, we were arguing. Well, not arguing, but I was ranting about people that generalize right before the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm being hypocritical because we probably all generalize and don't realize it. But
Well, it's very easy to, which is the problem with a lot of
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
nowadays. I don't
Yeah.
know about nowadays, but probably all the time. It's just super easy to be like, oh yeah, it's just a bunch of kids on watching people on a computer.
Mhm.
It's easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess he's probably right. It is probably mostly kids, probably mostly people under 18.
No, he's not wrong, but I'm like, it's just weird that that's
It sounds
the
like it's
general
kind of like
concise.
he said it in a derogatory type of way, where like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's just a bunch of kids watching people play video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they also make 100 times more money than you.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They could do whatever they want. They have like so much marketing power. They're their own brand.
I feel like I was gonna get into how like people are like, oh, but that won't last forever. Did we get into this whole topic?
I don't know, but that's psychopathic because they're their
Yeah.
own brand. It's not even like it's
It's
not
the same
just
thing. When you go like with radio, oh, it's not gonna last forever. Like you just branch off onto something else.
yeah,
If you've
smart
done
ones
it well
do.
enough, yeah, exactly.
like big streamers and stuff. People don't watch them because like the game. They
Mhm.
do a little bit because like, oh, they're playing this game. That's kind of interesting. I'm into that game. Maybe that gets your foot in the door with the streamer, but then like they're entertaining or you relate to them or whatever. Or I don't know. There's probably a bunch of reasons why people enjoy watching streams,
Mhm.
but a lot of people end up following the streamer.
Yeah, like on their all the
Yeah.
Instagram.
But
Twitter.
a big fear
Yeah.
is like, especially for streamers, is like, oh, what happens if my game dies? Because then
Oh
like
yeah,
the stream might die. But that's just bad branding and like
yeah,
marketing yourself.
yeah. I agree.
Like if they fail
agree.
after Twitch goes down or something like that, I feel like that's like on them.
Well, you should never with anything like like you can say it for like YouTube content as well, like whatever you
Yeah.
do on there. Like you shouldn't be a one trick pony. I feel like
Yeah.
because then you're just locked onto that.
Yeah.
And then if that dies, like what I don't know. I guess vlogging, right? Say vlog, and I guess vlogging has gone downhill. But like if you only do that, then that like people aren't gonna care anymore.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to do more than just that. Same thing with Twitch. Like if you just play that one game, that game dies, like you're screwed.
Yeah.
Like
It is
yeah.
kind of interesting though, because like it's like you're branding yourself. It's
yeah,
kind of unique. Whereas like if you're an actor or something like that,
Mhm.
you have movies that kind of promote you. But
well,
like you,
that's an interesting one too, because I was thinking about that this morning. Like certain movies, you can be a great actor, but like if you take certain roles, like you can like kill your own career.
yeah,
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good actor. Like Michael Fassbender has been on a pretty bad movie.
Jonah Hill.
No, he's been doing good.Ó Hill.
Oh, I don't know.
Like he just directed.
I just
his
feel like
first
he's always
movie.
the fat guy and the
No,
like the fat funny guy.
no. He's flipped it in the past 5 years, maybe.
Yeah, good for
He's
him.
flipped it. He just directed a 90s, something like that. I forgot. It's about skateboarders in the 90s. Looks good. Anyway, who's a good actor that's like, I feel like Michael. Anyway, I'm fucked up. I can't like, I'm trying to like process somebody that's like,
I'm trying to think. I
been
feel
on
like
a
it's easier
pair
to.
of bad movies, but I can't think.
I feel like it would be easy to figure out somebody who kind of like stuck themselves in a role.
I was
but
gonna
I
say
can't think of
Michael
anybody.
Fassbender because like he's had like,
Andrew Garfield.
yeah, maybe him too. You know who was in Bohemian Rhapsody?
Who?
Mike Myers.
That's weird.
And I feel like I haven't seen him in forever.
Yeah.
I mean, he has like
Well, you know what
kind of a
movie that-
cameo role, but like
He slipped in.
nobody even knew it was him. Inglourious Basterds.
Yes.
Yeah.
He slipped in there, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, wait a second, that's
Yeah.
Mike Myers."
Dude, I love Mike Myers.
Me too.
Yeah, honestly, probably one of my like favorite actors.
Yeah, definitely. Just from Austin Powers, though.
Oh yeah, but
I love
even
those
that,
movies.
like, let's be real for a minute. Everybody shits on Cat in the Hat,
I thought it was a pretty good movie.
and that's like
I like that
Austin
one.
Powers 4 in a fucked up timeline.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
like
yeah,
that's what Cat in the Hat is.
Yeah.
Like that movie, like I remember like when I was like in 3rd grade or 4th grade,
Mm.
and that movie was just so
You know
like
what's
it was
crazy?
just absurd. And like looking back now, I'm like, this movie is like if
Imagine
you
showing this to
didn't take
kids.
acid and then watch that movie, you would think you're on acid.
Yeah. I
That
don't know.
movie's hilarious, dude.
It's kind of crazy they played both Austin Powers and
Cat in the-
Dr. Evil.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Oh, sorry.
And Cat in the Hat, I
I'm
guess.
stuck
yeah.
on Cat in the Hat right
I mean,
now.
yeah, that trio is pretty crazy, though.
People forget about that movie.
Yeah. It slipped right under
Remember
the
when he
rug.
cut his tail off and then he was like, son of a...
Yeah.
And then when you're in third grade, you're like, whoa, what is
Whoa,
this?
wait a second.
Drop your pencil box on the ground after that line drops. That movie was fucking wild. Anyway, yeah. They were supposed to make an Austin Powers 4.
Yep. I think we talked about that last week.
Did we?
I think so. I think we
I
brought
don't
it up.
remember. Like, people... Every time we talked about
People were
this
like, hey,
last
remember
week.
when you talked about this?
Yeah. And I'm always like, nope. No, I feel like it's because we're just jumping so fast. Like, if they were like, hey, when you talked about the Brian, like, if it was like a meaty topic, like the meat of something, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I remember that. But when they're like, hey, when you said like this specific sentence or whatever, I'm like, well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's kind of weird how that works, though. How, like, they can remember that from, like, listening to the podcast, but we're actually doing it and it doesn't register on us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I still want to get... I feel like every episode, I'm just going to be like, yeah, we're going to get a guest on here.
We just had our first guest.
It'll be like episode 74. Hey, we'll get a guest on here at some point. Yeah, but if you want to be a guest, again, tweet me or message me wherever if you want. If text me, I don't know, depending on who you are. Well, a lot of people keep asking me. I feel like the 5th episode would have been good. Maybe we should do it every 10 episodes. Maybe the 10th episode we'll do it.
Oh,
I was trying to like break it out.
Yeah,
I feel like
that'd be kind of cool.
You kind of sequence it out a bit. I was thinking every 5, but here we are in episode 5, and we just did. We had your dad for half a second.
Hey,
so maybe that counts.
We'll do it every 5.
I'll put the title of this, and then I'll say / with dad.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. I don't know. I want to get more on here, but more people on here. It's just
more dumbasses. The more dumbasses, the better.
Yeah. Make sure your Friday night's open and you message me and we could probably get it going.
Yeah.
And we just talk about dumb shit on here anyway.
It's nothing crazy.
If you want to talk about satanic pools and... Speaking of satanic pools, I feel like another big, giant, like, huge elephant in the room, if not America. I love that Scientology just exists.
I love that religion exists.
Yeah, but like that's a...
whole other can of worms.
Yeah, Scientology is a very specific slice where it's like...
Scientology is weird because you have to like accept for truth things that are so obviously not true. And so it's like, it doesn't even have to do with anything about accepting those truths. It's just the fact that you can be manipulated and they're like, oh yeah, let this guy in. Like that's how a lot of cults are. Where like,
well, that's why I think
doesn't
it's
even
a
matter.
Giant cult.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of cults. They'll do like it doesn't matter about what they're talking about, like their ideology or whatever. That's just so like they're like, oh, this is so crazily outrageous. Nobody would ever. The people that do accept this for truth are like people that can be easily manipulated, and then they're like, oh yeah, you can come in. You know what I mean? Because I can control you to do my biddings.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna get shot after this podcast, probably.
What are you gonna do, man?
That dude that sold my brother the $10 CD at Walmart.
Yeah.
Probably a private investigator that's
driving to my front.
He's gonna find us and kill us.
Drive into my living room with his bus.
Yeah. That's his Scientology bus.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna.
That dude's a psycho,
dude. I don't know. Yeah, Scientology, man.
Tom Cruise.
You know what's weird when because I work pretty much right by Times Square. Like when you act like,
oh, don't you live
sometimes
near? Don't you work near the Scientology like
there's
main
a church
base?
or quote unquote church? Yeah. Not main base.
Well,
not the main. The main base is in Los Angeles, I believe.
Oh yeah,
I've actually seen it when I went to LA. Like kind of drove past
Snapchat, didn't you?
That was weird because it just doesn't look right. Anyway, but yeah, when I see it in the city and it's like it's always empty in there, and I'm like, what if I go in? It's probably gonna be so mundane. It's gonna be one dude bored as shit with like a pamphlet.
Definitely.
Anybody here read this?
Well, it's just people that are like, I don't know. They're just trying to find people that they can manipulate. That's how I feel about like cults.
I wonder how I felt like. Also, they probably definitely have a lot of people that go into that one in Times Square for like a meme or a joke, and they probably just kind of read it off and they're like, "Hey, get out."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably.
If they're like they could probably gauge. They probably have somebody to
serious you
gauge
are.
if you're serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to do the those interviews or
The
whatever.
audits.
Yeah.
That's what it is. The audits.
You got to get into those
I've been in one of those.
brain things.
It's literally. I think that's the way because
Evaluate you.
I think like it's how we are right now. Like we're both sitting down and then they
Oh, yeah.
they record it
Oh yeah.
and it's just it's hilarious because not hilarious. It's fucked up. But like
you have to tell
it's
them
for
everything.
blackmail. Like it's
Yeah.
all for just blackmail.
Yes.
That's
So
all.
you can't leave.
You can't leave. Yes.
Yes.
How do people not know this going into it?
Because they're dumb.
I don't understand that you don't like
These people, I'm not even. These people need to be shot in the head. I'm sorry. I said it. They're so stupid. They're like, how do you educate something like that?
I
They're
like how we went.
oh, I'm sitting down with somebody who's going to ruin the rest of my life. I had sex with children when I was 18 years old. I don't know. It's like you're telling them your whole like story, like, I don't know, all the bad stuff about you. So that if you do leave, they're just going to be like, oh yeah, he told me this, here's all the recordings.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
We just went from talking about giving child predators in prison a second chance to shoot Scientologists.
I don't know, man. It's like, how do you save people like that though? I feel like maybe, I don't know. They're so crazy.
Everybody's fucked up, dude. I don't know.
It's so like,
well, no, I don't think they're that far gone. What's her name was fine, and she was born into it.
exactly. It wasn't her choice.
From
Like,
King of Queens. What's her name?
Yes. I don't know her name, but
But
she was
she
on
is
Joe Rogan
Born
podcast.
into it and came out of it like, whoa, that shit's dumb.
Yeah.
So
but
I don't
that's
think
like,
that those people are that far
no,
out.
but she didn't have a choice. There's people that are like,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, here's like, I want to be in on this.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Like, I don't know.
Maybe I'll go do that and they'll throw
then
some
it's like
keywords at me and I'll get into it.
Now that you say that, it's like she got born into it and she still kind of realized like, hey, this is pretty crazy.
Yeah, and
so
that's
it's like, is that like
that's like ultimate brainwash too, because you're in it.
Yeah. So is like,
is
common sense? I don't know if it would be common sense, but like
her family's still in it.
Is your bullshit meter like?
Oh, Leah Remini?
Something like that. I don't know her name.
Did
I know
just
she
name
was
a
on the
porn
Joe
star, or is
Rogan
that actually
podcast.
You look that up.
Mia Khalifa?
Oh, she's in the Scientology?
But she.
Oh yeah, it's Leah Remini. Yeah.
Is that like
Remini.
from birth though? Do you get that like at birth where it's like you just get common sense and just some people are worse off? Where like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are very purposefully like blinded by themselves.
Yeah,
because they don't want to.
Well, it's easy to be ignorant.
Yeah, exactly.
Overall, I mean.
Yeah.
The less you know, probably the better off you are.
Yeah, that's how I feel. A lot of people live.
You live in like a fantasy world.
Yeah.
That you create for yourself. It's just easier.
That's
a lot easier. Yeah.
You got to check yourself sometimes.
Yeah, but if you check yourself too much, you go crazy like
crazy.
me.
Yeah.
Or like the both of us probably. Yeah. And you end up like overthinking everything.
Yeah.
You know. And you got to get like that fine line.
Yeah. It's hard to find.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But I'd rather be a little crazy and like not be in Scientology. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they love it. No, that's crazy.
No,
I can't even say.
I heard there's
sometimes
like,
I try and see it from the other
abuse and shit going on.
Yeah, sometimes I try and see it from the other side, but there's literally no other side.
I don't think there's any other side to that. I think it's just
the same thing with religion too. I think even the Catholic religion's even psychopathic. There's literally priests being charged with. Some of them don't even get charged. Yeah, but some of them don't even get charged. They just get moved to another church.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Yeah,
it's been going on for centuries.
What's his name have to do with it? The Pope?
I don't know if this one did, but
one of them knew it and they were like, "Oh, move him."
Yes,
or
the last. I think it was the last Pope who was really bad.
Crazy.
I think.
Wow.
Imagine being.
Wow, dude.
Imagine being like, "Hey, go to church, and like confess your sins or whatever. God will make it all good." And then the guy that you're supposed to be confessing your sins to, and it's supposed to help you and like cleanse you so that you can go to heaven, he starts grabbing you by the dick. Could you imagine?
But
that guy's supposed to be like that. That's who you're. That's your holier than thou guy. Like imagine being like an 8-year-old, and then this guy who your parents.
Maybe that's why they do it.
That is why they do it.
No, because they're like if you're like, say you're the priest, right? And I go to you, I'm like, oh, I shot this guy in the head or whatever, and like in their head, I'm like, oh, I shot this guy in the head, or like raped whatever, but like all this fucked up shit, and then like you're the priest, and then you're just like, well, nothing's worse than me. I fucking raped many kids.
Yeah.
So maybe that, not that that's an excuse, but like, I don't, because if I'm like, I don't think I could sit there and listen to somebody be like, yeah, like rape, like I beat the shit out of him or what, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Although I don't know what people are actually confessing. I feel like, let's be real for a minute. Let's be real for a minute. If you've actually done those things, I don't think you're going to church to tell someone.
Well, some people do.
I don't know.
Some people actually like do that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I don't.
I definitely do not.
I don't think church is all bad. Let me twist this. I don't think religion is all bad. I feel like there's some people I know that like it gives you good morals.
Yeah, but if you can't do that just by like being a decent human being,
that's on you.
But I also understand it is kind of like a good moral system and like a sense of community and like, that's all good
stuff.
It makes
you feel good.
Yeah, but then like, why do you gotta pray to a God like
I get
in
it.
the sky?
Yeah,
I don't know. But it's
old fashioned.
It's just my perspective.
You know what we were talking about earlier?
What?
I think this was earlier in the week. Wow, what did I say? And you were agreeing with me. Maybe it was too fucked up to talk about on here. I think it was saying how like, how I believe we're getting like sadder, like how like we're getting more depressed as a society and like, I guess maybe lazier. And I think that's because of like two things where like right now one of them is that maybe technology. No, or there you go. Because of technology, maybe you can argue. And then also like people in 1820 were probably not very bright human beings.
Yeah.
Like that's like the education just wasn't there like that it is now.
Yeah.
We can learn shit probably so much faster.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't know if we like retain information longer. I think we have a problem with that. I off the top of my head, I could be wrong about that. But yeah, I feel like people were like, we're just getting too smart.
Yeah.
And like, maybe
like
that's our demise.
Like going over a hump right now where it's like, we're becoming too smart to like, we kind of realize like, oh, this is
what's funny?
Bleak.
That we're talking about being too smart and we're like
dumbasses.
We're just these little things on a rock. Like, but like, you can argue as
we are the most intelligent life in the universe as far as we know so far.
As far as we know, yeah. But,
probably definitely not the smartest though. There's probably
that goes into the, I don't think we ever talked about the great filter theory.
Oh no, but
I feel like because that's what made me think about it is like, what if the filter is us getting too smart?
Well, yeah, that's a hypothesis about it.
Way too smart, and like that could and because we're too smart, like maybe we create a technology that kills us. Or like, we're just too like our emotions are too vapid now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in 1700s, you were just like.
Then you also think all life probably doesn't evolve how we do. You know what I mean? To become into this. And probably all life doesn't have feelings like we do.
Yeah.
That's just like something that happens to us.
Yeah, it's true.
So, I mean, I don't know. Great filter is weird.
Yeah, I feel like Well, do you know it off the top of your head?
Yeah, it's basically like.
I don't remember it.
It's basically.
100%.
There's this one thing. We don't know what it is. There's this one thing that happens that wipes out a species. Basically just almost like a genocide, but it ends a species basically. So, or not even like a species, but like life, like it ends life. And either we're past it or we're before it. We should hope that we're past it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and all things so far point that we're past it because we don't see anything else. The whole goal is to get past that filter.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you're past that filters everything out and like kills everything basically, then I guess that could be scarier because then we're in unknown territory. Nobody's ever made it this far. Then we truly are alone in this billions of light year galaxies.
Wait, but the scary part was before that too is like if
if we find other alien,
then we're before
other
it.
life, then we are either they're also after it, which is like such a small percentage that 2 things out of all the universe made it past it, because it's so small that even 1 would make it past it, that like a second would also accident. We would have to have accidentally gone past it because we didn't do anything that's like on purpose. That's like, oh, this is the filter. We have to do this to get past it.
Mhm.
So we accidentally did it if we are past it.
Mhm.
But if we find other alien or other life, then more than likely we are before it, which is, I guess, scarier. At least we're in known territory at that point, but we have something coming in front of us that kills off life that we don't know about yet.
Yeah.
Something in that throughout the evolution of a species or life in general stops it. And that's the scary part.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, oh yeah, I wish we would find aliens. You kind of don't. Like,
Yeah.
if you do, then we have a whole other set of problems that we're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah.
But if we keep not finding
It's an interesting
anything,
theory and question to talk about.
yeah. But I mean, the great filter could just be something as small as like having a planet that can't sustain life,
Yeah.
and Earth can sustain life, or your planet goes out of orbit, and
Yeah.
then we wouldn't be past it then, because then Earth could eventually go out of orbit,
Or the sun dies.
yeah,
which is
stuff like that.
supposedly slowly happening.
Yeah, but I mean, there could also be like a virus or something that develops in life.
Dude, there's so many things that can go wrong. So many things.
Dude, we're floating in
Yeah.
like nothingness
Speaking
on a big ass rock.
No. Yeah, I know. It's terrifying. Speaking of things that go wrong, shout out to that Ashes podcast. I don't know if you've ever listened to it yet.
No.
But each episode is about like one's about like climate change, one's about like
Oh yeah, I did read
robots,
I
like,
listened
whatever.
to one.
But it's about like pretty much, I guess, human demise is a way to sum it up. But it's really good. They actually do their research.
Climate change is another one that's
Oh yeah.
and people still
Yeah.
debate that, but it's disgusting that they do that because it's you're not arguing with like me at that point. Like if you're going to argue with me about climate change, you're not arguing with me. You're arguing with all the scientists that
Yeah.
say that it's happening.
Yeah. That's
All the
it's
scientists are on
infuriating,
my side. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're not just arguing with me at that point.
yeah.
But that's another thing about like the great filter.
hmm
I don't know. That's fascinating to me. All like alien stuff and space. Time is supposed to be a tangible thing.
Thinking bigger than yeah.
Like you can be able to like shrink time and stuff. I don't know. It's psycho.
I didn't get that
with
far
like
into it.
gravity.
I
like,
don't
we
know
can
anything about
manipulate-
this.
It's like gravity
hear
and
about this?
time are it's Einstein's theory of relativity, but it's like an extra step further. Like, oh, see, this I don't really remember 100%, but Einstein had a theory where like time only moves as fast to us because of our gravitation, like something about our like it has to do with our gravity and going around the sun and stuff like that.
hmm
And so he related it to like if a pitcher was on a flatbed of a truck and like it was going one way and he threw like it's
yeah. I
it's
know
hard to
what you're talking
explain over a podcast, but like if he was throwing the same direction the truck is moving
At the same speed?
100 miles per hour in the same direction the truck is moving while he's on the truck, that ball to you, somebody who's standing on like outside of it, it's going to move at 200 miles per hour if the truck is already moving 100 miles per hour or something like that.
Mhm.
But if you're on the truck, it's still going to be 100 miles per hour to you. But if you're going in the other direction, it's going to be even faster to you. It's like, but it has
I get what
something to
you're
do with
getting
like
at, yeah.
time and gravity and like other places. This is like all mumbo jumbo right now. This is from one dumbass.
We need a visual. We need a whiteboard.
Yeah, but I don't know. I
Dude, we should get a whiteboard.
highly suggest if you're interested in the slightest to like just look up Einstein's theory of relativity and look up the Great Filter, stuff like that. It's so interesting. Very, very difficult to understand and like actually get into. Like I would never be able to explain it, obviously. Like I'm trying to right now and I can't.
Well, it's hard. Oh, yeah,
but it's
I don't
like
blame you.
so interesting. It's shows you like how little you actually understand about anything.
Mhm.
Because it like
I have yet to
ruins
listen
everything.
to this, but I
It's
want to.
ridiculous.
Well, with those well, we had a lot of hard topics this podcast.
Yeah, I was dropping bombs.
But yeah, at the end of this, there was some nukes. But I feel like
leaving
we
some
left with a
homework for
lot of
people.
yeah, exactly. I feel like that's a good thing. I want to know if anybody listening to this. Wow, I just said that so foreign.
Actually,
If I'm not bother listening to this,
another good thing if you really like philosophy and stuff like that is
Yeah.
Plato's cave. If
I
you
don't know anything about
that's
this
another
one.
thing where like basically they only knew shadows. They could only see the shadows. There was a fire behind them.
Mhm.
And like it's since that was their only world, all they knew was shadows. Once they got out of the cave, they couldn't they didn't know. I don't even remember. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it had something to do with a fire being behind them and only seeing shadows for their entire life. They were in chains, and then they were like let free, and then that had something to do with it. And I don't remember the rest, but you should look that up too because that was super interesting, and I remember it being super.
You're leaving a lot of
interesting.
homework here.
Hey, I mean, I don't know. Allegory of the Cave, that's what it's called. Or Plato's Cave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
There's a lot of.
I love stuff like that. Like philosophy and
And then I look up dumb shit like
how people
film
think.
reviews and dumb behind the scenes. And you're over here looking up philosophy and theory. I think with that, it's gonna wrap up episode 5. If you guys could rate and review this, and also maybe if you're really into it, add it to your subscribe playlist or whatever. We don't have this on SoundCloud anymore because SoundCloud apparently leaves like a 3-hour total limit, and I don't feel like paying for SoundCloud monthly because fuck that. I don't drop mixtapes. We drop podcasts. Also, let me know where you're listening to this most, whether that be Spotify or the podcast app, just to give me a general idea of what's going on. But yeah, if you could like it, review it, it helps us out a ton. We'll be back with episode 6. And give us your topic ideas as well. And any questions, we can interject that into the podcast. Probably talk about even weirder shit with your weird questions. All right. That's going to do it here from us. We'll see you guys later.
Wow. Yeah, comes City to City.